an application which provides insights to the stakeholders of a retail business. When we are saying retail, we are looking at a chain of stores across a particular country. In this particular example, we've used the country as India, and there are multiple chains of our particular business. And as a senior stakeholder, I would want to draw some insights to take some decisions to drive my business. When I log into Power BI, this is the first screen that I see in front of me, which is called a dashboard, which in less than 30 seconds is able to give me a business health check of what is really going on. Here we're focusing mainly on the sales aspect of things. So what you're going to see throughout the application is specific to the retail sales. I see on the top left what is my sales till date. I see that it's 10.16 million rupees, whereas my goal was 11.4. Not to worry, I still have a couple of months left in the year, so I can probably cover up the target. But right now it's not crossing my goal, and hence it's demarcated in red, showing that you're below your target. Similarly, you can see the average discount, profit margin against the goals that was set, and you can view the same data across different periods. So this is what the view is for month till date. I can see the view in quarter till date and how I've performed year till date. Here I get a detailed view of what my sales trend looks like across the last 12 months. So if I look at my sales, I have my green bars over here where it shows that March 2018 my sales has gone up. My margins and my discount are shown through this line charts, and if I hover over it, it shows a detailed view of that particular sale. So it shows the sales distribution, where it's showing that majority of your sales came from kid toys, which is the purple side of the pie chart. So in a quick view, I have some kind of insight. So just imagine a sales head logging into this retail sales dashboard. In less than 30 seconds, he or she sees that, where am I doing the highest sales? If I'm looking at the highest sales month, what is the product that sells a lot? And on the other hand, I can also see the months where I've done the lowest sales, which is April. And out of those, which were those products which sold the most or the least? So I can see grocery sold the most in April. However, spare parts just contributed to 2.14%. This could be a useful insight to me. However, the story does not end over there. So I may also want to go to a deeper level and understand how my products are selling across the country. So I'm seeing on this particular map what is my sales by profit margin, by revenue, and by footfall. Whenever I click the buttons, you can see that the graphs have changed, and accordingly the color indicates the darker the shade, the more the value is. In a particular state that is light green, the profit margin is slightly less as compared to the darker green one. Similarly, I'm also looking at what kind of promotions I had run throughout the year and how did my sales get uplifted during those promotions. So I had offered during the winter season, which I called as the Winter 10 promotion, which contributed to 39.75 million rupees of sales. Similarly, summer, Christmas and Diwali promotions were also launched, and these were the sales. On the same side, I also get to see the distribution of my prime customers and my non-prime customers. Prime customers are basically those who fall under my loyalty program, and every retail store has their own loyalty programs. So as per that loyalty program, how much of my customers fall under that are listed as prime members, and the other ones are listed as non-prime members. This is just some analysis which I could see. I just want a quick report, who's doing the best work in my organization. So this right side of the dashboard gives me a quick glance into what are my top performers, which is the region where I sell the most, Hyderabad. Which is the store where I make the most sales, store number 73. Who is the sales representative who sells the most, sales reps number 68. and what is the product that I sell the most? Grocery. So, having this said, in less than 30 seconds, I get to see my trend across last 12 to 24 months, my presence across the nation, my uplift in sales because of the promotions, my loyalty and their contribution of loyal customers. This is the purpose of a dashboard, and it delivers me quick information. Now data is at my fingertips. However, if I wanted to deep dive into it, I wanted to explore the different aspects of a sales analysis, which are directly on listed on your sheet. But I'd like to recall, when you're looking at sales, you may want to understand, where am I selling the most, what am I selling the most, and to whom am I selling the most. So let's start with where. When we answer the question, where am I selling the most, I move to a regional analysis. I get to see, what are the different product groups, what is the purchase frequency for him, and what is the profit margin. So if I look at BWDV, the profit margin is somewhere close to 25%, which is a decent amount of margin, and the purchase frequency is almost 250, which is a very high frequency. So this is good for my business, and I should ideally push more products over on that particular group. Similarly, I can also see what is the customer footfall during the different promotions that we ran throughout the year. There was a winter promotion, there was a Christmas promotion, summer promotion, as well as Diwali promotion, which are shown in different colors over here. And this particular graph distribution shows how many customers came through this. So you can see is actually the maximum contributor in the first two bars. However, this line color which is summer promotion, was a bigger hit in the north region. In the west region, winter promotion actually made a big difference, and that is why the customer footfall was more because of that. So you can see which product sells better in which geography. So in West, maybe winter promotion made sense because now people wanted to buy more winter clothes. Similarly, in North, we're talking about summer clothes. So because when I ran the summer promotions, people went ahead and bought more. So you can also get an insight into what the buying patterns are across different regions, across different products. And the best part is, you can also analyze what are those 20% of your product that contribute to 80% of your revenue, which is perfectly shown in this. Pareto analysis shows what are your 20% of the cities where you sell or regions where you sell, which contribute to 80% of your revenue. However, by revenue, if I see, Ahmedabad actually contributes the maximum. Then the Pareto analysis shows me what are those 20% of the cities where I sell that contribute to 80% of the revenue. And you can see that by quantity, you can see that by revenue. But Delhi, while it was the highest in terms of quantity, but in revenue it's on number 3. And then again, you can alter, instead of 80-20, you want to see a 75-25% split. So you know which are your key regions where you sell and where you make majority of your sales. So accordingly, those would be your focus areas. So what we covered so far, we saw the dashboard, we got an quick insight into how my business was doing, and now we also had an insight into where are we selling and what are we selling. So the product and the regional analysis. Now I'm more interested in knowing what am I selling, so I'll move to the product analysis. In the product analysis, I get some key numbers: what's my sales, what's my growth, how many active stores, what's my revenue per store, and I also get to see all the products that I'm selling on it and the distribution, where I'm showing what's the revenue, what's the margin that I got on those particular products. In an ideal scenario, I should be having a higher revenue for a higher margin product. That's what I'll be looking out for, those outliers. Similarly, I'll be looking at, in which particular region, what kind of customers are coming across different months. So here you can see from April 18 till December 18th, the actual footfall was pretty low. But however, since Jan 19, the footfall actually started rising. And now I had prime customers as well. Then we also get an analysis of how many of these customers actually come back to me and then buy back from me. How many of them are returning customers and in what duration do they return? So you can see that there are 10,204 returning customers who come back to me within 1 week, and then 6,532 customers who come back to me in between 1 to 2 weeks. Here I get a more detailed view of who are the people and what are they selling and how many transactions are they making. So this is the list of all the sales representatives who are selling across different regions. Lastly, I would want to understand to whom am I selling. I'll go to this customer analysis where I would want to see out of all the customers that I have, how many of them fall under my loyalty program. So all those who fall under my loyalty program, I call them as prime members. And within those prime members, I have different tiers of partnership of my programs. So there are silver members, there are gold members, sapphire members, and bronze members. And for those people, I've actually understood what is their age across different groups, what is their average age, and I've done an RFM analysis. RFM stands for recency, frequency, and monetary, something that you see on the bottom over here. Recency, frequency, and monetary, where it shows what is that customer cluster which is buying from me very recently. So it's more about who has bought the latest, what category of customers. So you can see the recency across the sales. The next thing you want to see is what is the frequency of those same customers. So if I look at Sapphire, which is not very recent, is actually very frequent. So they buy a lot, but they haven't bought in a long time. And lastly, frequency versus recency, and we have given a distribution over here. So this RFM analysis helps me understand my customer clusters much better, and it would allow me to actually give or plot more benefits for the customers that give me more business. Like any other business, I would want to reward those who shop with me more, who shop with me more frequently, who shop with me for a larger amount. Considering those aspects, we look at the RFM angle, and we can actually filter it for a particular city, or here I've just taken, filter it to Mumbai, and the data changes accordingly. Last but not the least is a run rate analysis, where we would want to see that where we are as of today and how our trajectory is going to go in the next few months. So if I look at sales till date is 0.2 million, but what if my growth could increase between 14 to 100%? How would it vary? If I increase by 14%, this is what my trajectory looks like. And if I grow by 100%, I reach a number of 875.11k that you see over here. And I can alter this slider, maybe change the limits, and accordingly you can see on a dynamic level, you can simulate the scenarios that, COVID hit me. Right now, I'm not able to sell more because people are not allowed to go outside. So my sales would not be high. So I may want to project a lower growth. So I'm looking at a growth of less than 25%. So my projections change accordingly, and you can see something that was 875k has now become 791k. So this is the area where you can actually simulate your scenarios and understand what if I change my sales representative, the performance of that sales representative also plays as a factor. I can also change the trajectory basis the last 12 months. So seeing the trend of the last 12 months, how would my growth for the next few months look like? You can see the trajectory differs. This, in short, was a detailed analysis of the retail sales. With this, there are people who love reports, would want a detailed report which is tabular and in the form of an Excel. This is report lovers, where I give them the details. what are the invoices, which customers buying, which cluster do they fall under, what store did they buy from. So all the respective fields, they get a detailed report out of it. So if you look at the flow, where you start off from analyzing data at a 30,000 feet level, where you're looking at a complete business. How am I doing pan India? How am I doing across different months? How am I doing across different promotions, across different customer groups or customer clusters? That's a 30,000 feet view thrown in the dashboard. Then we go deeper and analyze the data. What if, or can I analyze the data for Mumbai specifically? Can I analyze it for sales representative number 12? Can I look at it? Can I look at the data for only the promotion ran in summer? Or so that's going slightly deeper into it. Or can I look at it only at the data of product category called apparels, nothing else? So you see, for apparels, it's showing the trend has changed. Let me deselect this. Show me only for Prime customer members who fall under the Sapphire group. I can select it from here and see how the data changes. So you see, it's all blue or Sapphire. And finally, I move into the reports, which is a detailed tabular view of data. So you see, the concept of DAR, dashboard analysis report, actually gives me a uniform flow into data, moving right from 30,000 feet level into drilling down into a deeper level, going to the most granular level, which is the invoice level. That's all in this particular application.